Welcome to the Raise Your Energy podcast. My name is Linda Lange and I'm your host and energy expert. Meditation is becoming bigger and bigger, and still most people never tried it or they just dabbled in it. If you are one of those people and don't really know where to start, or if you're doing it right, this episode is for you. I will give you 5 easy tips that cover everything you need to know to start meditating. So let's begin. As part of my program, my clients learn to meditate as one of the tools that helps them to change. And most of them have tried out meditation once or twice before, but they never really understood how to do it. I collected all of their questions and created this episode for anyone who wants to finally give it a go. Meditation is hugely powerful and transformative, but with everything we do for the first time, it can feel clunky and hard at the beginning. In this episode, I will help you understand why that is and what to do about it to move past this beginner phase and don't give up. I have so many little tips and tricks for you so you feel confident that you can get started with meditation. Most of the time, we don't try something out because we just don't know where to start. And we don't like to feel helpless or waste our time with something where we just don't know how to do it. I will give you just enough information so you can go ahead at the end of this episode and give it a go straight away. And if you tried to meditate before and you were just not sure if you were doing it right, we will cover that as part of my tips as well. There are a lot of misconceptions out there on how you should best meditate or what should happen when you meditate. But you will find out that it's much easier than you think and that it feels like you're doing it wrong, but actually you're doing it right. Sounds like a good plan? Okay. Just a few years ago, I was exactly where you are now. I thought meditation was just for relaxing and some stress relief. And of course, it does help with that. But thinking that meditation is just for relaxation purposes is missing all of the other opportunities that meditation can give you. Meditation is so much more and can help you in about every part of your life and your health. I have other episodes where I go more into details of all of the benefits that meditation can give you. Today, I just want you to move from just not knowing where to start or if you're doing it right to having enough information to feel confident enough to give it a go. Your future self will thank you for having started today. So let's get started with the 5 easy tips for beginners. Tip number 1 is to take care of your environment, body, and time when it comes to your meditation. What does that mean? First of all, you want to find the right place in your home or where you're currently staying to meditate. And that means that you don't get disturbed by other people or are disturbed by anything else in your environment. So find a place where you can regularly do your meditation and where you feel comfortable as well. And that doesn't mean in your bed, because lying in your bed means for your body to fall asleep. And it doesn't matter really if you every now and then fall asleep in your meditation, but that is not the purpose of meditating. We want to achieve something. We want to work on something. So we want to be awake and take care of the body as well, that it stays awake. So not doing the meditation in your bed, even if you're sitting upright. So find a place in your home where you can do your meditation on a regular basis. Secondly, if you're a beginner, please do not try to sit on the floor in a cross-legged position as we usually see it in advanced meditators. Find yourself a chair to sit on. Either a chair like I'm sitting on now or on a sofa. It can even be an office chair. That's absolutely fine. You want to sit upright. You want your back supported, nice and comfortable. So put cushions there as well. if you need them to be really comfortable, and you want to be as upright as possible. That means as well not to lean your head on something backwards. If you sit on the sofa, don't lean all the way back, because again, that gives a message to the body that it can fall asleep, and we don't want that. So have your back supported, sit upright, and your head is free and can be moved. Your legs should be about 90 degrees and your feet should touch the floor. That is the perfect meditation position and should be really comfortable for you. Before you start your meditation, take care of any bodily distraction. That means use the restroom, take a sip of water so you're not thirsty. Make sure that you're not very, very hungry before you go into meditation. And try to wear comfortable clothes as well. Try to wear loose things that don't disturb you. If you have your trouser or your skirt or anything around your tummy area very tight, maybe unbutton it, loosen it up. We don't want the body to have any opportunity to distract us while we meditate. So wear loose clothes. If you're in a fairly cold room, take a blanket because you might get cold. And again, we don't want the body to have any opportunity to distract us while we meditate. So try to be as comfortable as possible. And the last bit is about time. Make sure that you have enough time put aside for you to complete the meditation comfortably. You don't want to give your mind the opportunity to be worried during the meditation that you run out of time or where you have to be next. It will take the chance to do that. So make sure you do a meditation that fits perfectly into the time that you have available now to meditate. So that was tip number 1. It was all about making sure your environment is perfectly set up, that your body is not in any way distracted, and that you have enough time for your meditation. So over to tip number 2, select your guided meditation. First of all, I want you to choose a guided meditation. If you're a beginner, let's get some help and learn how to meditate first before you can go over and meditate and guide yourself. So guided meditation is what I want you to select for you to get started with meditation. There are lots of different apps out there for you to get started. A very common one is, for example, the Calm app. What I sometimes use as well, and actually I'm a contributor as well, is on Insight Timer, a fantastic free app for meditation. Lots of people follow other people that create meditations. I, for example, am a huge fan, of course, of Dr. Joe Dispenza, which you all already know, and I do a lot of his meditations, which you can find on his website. But the easiest way for you to find a guided meditation is just to go on YouTube. You can find millions of meditations on YouTube. And the really cool thing is that you can just add the purpose. So let's say I want to fall asleep. So I just search for guided meditations for sleep. Or I want to bring up a certain feeling. So I can put in here the feeling gratitude. And I find guided meditations that help me to bring up the feeling of gratitude. I love it so much to find meditations and use meditations for certain purposes. And that's why I started creating as well my own meditations. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can find them here under guided meditations. If you click on it, you find all of the guided meditations that I've already offer here on the YouTube channel. And there are lots of them that you can use for the purpose of meditating. So go ahead and find your guided meditations that you start with. Tip number 3 is mastering your mind. If your mind starts to wander during your meditation, please do not get worried, don't get upset, and don't get discouraged. This is the normal part of meditating. We are meditating and then we are not. We are focused on the meditation and then we are not, because our mind just wanders off to some other place. It might wander off to something that just happened to you or yesterday, or it might start thinking about what you have to do next or what's going to happen tomorrow. Don't worry about it when it happens, especially when you're a beginner at meditating. This is very normal. And sometimes you're better at quieting your mind and sometimes not. And that even applies to me. Sometimes my mind is very, very busy and I just accept it for what it is. It needs practice for you to quieten your mind and for it to be calmer during your meditation process. So if you realize that you have lost focus and were not really listening anymore to the guided meditation, just accept it for what it is and come back and focus again on your meditation. And that is what is called mastering your mind. Over time, when you practice more, you will get better at it. That is the same with everything else in life, isn't it? So don't get discouraged, don't get upset if it's just a bit more tricky at the beginning. That happens with everything, doesn't it? So tip number 3 is mastering your mind. Please be kind to yourself when you start meditating and your mind tries to go somewhere else, okay? Tip number 4 is mastering your body. Don't be surprised when your body is doing some weird things to distract you during your meditation. Your body might just not be used for you to sit in stillness for a longer period of time. So it might try to give you something to do. It might try to get up and do something. It might tell you that you're itching somewhere or that you have a pain, maybe in your lower back or in your head, or it can be anything, truly. So don't get distracted by it and don't get discouraged. Think about your body like a dog that needs to be trained because it's a young puppy at it, right? It's just starting to get used to meditating. So you have to tell your body who's the boss, and that is you. So tell your body when it tries to distract you that you are now going to sit here in meditation and that you are the boss. You're the master of your body, and that it can move later. It can have something to drink later. It can go to the toilet later. But now we are meditating and you're the boss and not the body. That's how you have to think about it. And don't think that you are doing something wrong in your meditation when these kind of things happen to your body. You are actually doing it right. You're overcoming and mastering your body again and again during meditation. This is just part of the process. So don't be discouraged. Don't get upset and don't think you're doing something wrong. You're actually doing it right. So that was tip number 4, mastering your body. And last but not least, tip number 5. The highest impact that you can make in your meditation practice is with consistency. You can create the highest impact through meditating for yourself by being consistent. You will make bigger changes in your life if you meditate for 5 minutes nearly every day instead of meditating for 1 hour just once or twice per month. It's not all about the length you meditate for. It's not about what meditation you do, and it's not about the way you meditate. It's all about consistency. It's like learning to play a new sport. You go regularly to training, and maybe you do this once or twice per week instead of just once per month, because you know you won't get any good at it if you just go once or twice per month instead of practicing regularly. But if you practice regularly, over time, you know you will get better at it. And of course, the more you practice, the better you get at it. It means you will get bigger and quicker results as well. That applies to most things in life. And yes, it applies as well to your meditation practice. So tip number 5, and the last one of our 5 easy steps, is consistency. So let's review all of the 5 tips again so you are ready to get started straight away. Number 1 is make sure that your environment, your body, and your time are set up right for your meditation. Tip number 2, select a guided meditation for your needs. Tip number 3, master your mind by accepting it to be part of the meditation process. Tip number 4 is mastering your body to train it to know who the boss is. That's you. And tip number 5, consistency is key to getting the best benefits out of meditation. So now you are ready to go ahead, select a guided meditation and get started. I believe in you. There is this beautiful saying, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Just keep practicing, and over time you will get really good and you will reap the magnificent benefits it has for you in meditation. Love yourself enough to do this. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope I inspired you to give meditation a serious go. You won't regret it. And with that, I love you and leave you. Thank you so much and talk to you soon. Bye bye.